Hi, my name's Jim. Welcome to Homestead and Bushcraft Tested, where we give tips, tricks, techniques, and we review gear that'll make your time in the outdoors more enjoyable. So today what I'm going to talk about are 3 different kinds of stoves or cooking utensils to use while you're bushcrafting. However, I'm going to say I'm in my 60s these days, so my years of hiking long distance, travel light, freeze at night, that's all long gone when I was out of the Marine Corps. These days, I'm going to show you stuff that are not ultralight packing stoves. So let's start with a ghillie kettle first. I've had one of these since they first came out with them in stainless steel. I've used this thing quite a bit. And I bought the deluxe base camp model instead of one of the smaller trucker models. The reason being is because I'm packing it in the sidecar of my motorcycle. I'm not hiking with this thing. It's pretty big, it's pretty hefty, got some weight to it. But the neat thing about the ghillie kettle is you can feed it firewood through the side down here in the bottom vent. Okay, you've got this little piece here that you can put on the top, so you can put a pot on top to cook with. And the neat thing of it is you got this little rubber stopper right here with a whistle in it, so when your water boils you know you're ready. Now I use this thing a lot in the winter time when I'm ice fishing. The reason being is I can make hot chocolate, make coffee, soups, things like that of that nature. One thing about the ghillie kettle is you don't ever want to run it without water in it, because if you do, you'll burn the interior chamber up. This interior chamber contains a little fire inside. The outer chamber holds all the water together, and it's full of water in there so you can boil. Another thing I like about the ghillie kettle is once your water's boiled, you can put this little hobo stove on top. If you buy the entire kit, set that on top. You can put your pot up here, keep feeding the fire. Or if you want to grill anything, you've got a little grill top right here. Another thing that I've got, this little pot catch right here, so when I have a cook pot, I don't have to worry about picking it up and burning my fingers. I can pick this thing up, move it around. I can pick up my pots and move those around. And then I've got an extra set right here. If I need to get this platform up off the ground a little higher, I can set that up there, or I can put different size pots, or I can even use it up here on top. I chose the ghillie kettle made out of stainless steel because it's a little bit more robust than the aluminum models. Aluminum is a little bit lighter weight, and they make 3 different sizes in ghillie kettle. And if I was going to be doing some trekking with this thing, I'd probably have one of the smaller models. This one is the base camp. The way the ghillie kettle works is this right here is your fire base. Okay, all your fire is contained in this little part right here. You see the hole in the side? This is where you can feed firewood into it. What you do is you set the base down on the ground, or you can set it on top of this little piece right here to get it up off the ground a little bit. Once your fire is going, set the pot on top, and you can feed sticks down through the top, and it'll really get some good roaring fire going. Now the next one I want to talk about is the BioLite fire stove. Now I got it for spring and summertime when you want to grill stuff with a wood grill out in the woods. And I've got it, I carry it in this little pack right here. So let's unzip it. Now I bought the extra accessory grill top, and I'll show you how this sets up. Got my extra pot. I got this large kettle. Now the way this one works is you have a blower motor on the side right here. This thing's pretty neat. It's a little too heavy and bulky to be carrying for ultralight packing trips, but it acts like a rocket stove in the fact that it has an electric blower motor right here on the side. Now, there's also a thermoelectric generator in this thing. So if you have a cell phone or anything like that out in the woods with you, you can just pop this little cover open right here, plug it in, and as you're burning the firewood, it'll recharge the battery in your cell phone. Downside of that is it's really, really slow. And in order to charge a cell phone for emergencies, that's great for the short term, but if you want to get much of a charge, you're going to have to constantly feed this thing, nonstop. I mean, you're going to be really paying a lot of attention to it. And that's great if you have a signal, but you got a weak battery. However, the reason I really like it is the fact that I've got this extra grill accessory. This is great if you want wood-fired food. This doubles as a serving tray. So let's fold the legs out. You can set this little grill accessory out, open the lid right here, and this is how you're going to feed your fire. Drop in pine cones, leaves, sticks, wood pellets if you want to carry those in the woods with you. But the neat thing of it is, you can see I've had a lot of use out of this thing. I like to grill salmon on it, I like to grill steaks, do shish kebabs, anything like this when I'm out in the woods. Now this is not a stove, but you saw me take my little BioLite out of the back of this. Now any of these little stoves will fit here in the back, depending on how I'm going to be cooking that day in the woods, depends on what I put in the back. Now the neat thing about this little backpack here, this is my portable kitchen. So you saw the two wood-fired stoves here. Burns anything you can pick up out in the woods. Now here is my portable kitchen. Got my little brazen torch set up there. So I've got wine glasses in here. I've got all my silverware, cutlery, some plates, a little cutting board, napkins and stuff. They all go in this neat little pack. You can get this on Amazon. There again, like I said, this is not for ultralight packing. This is for, like when I go out on my motorcycle, when I got the sidecar and the dog with me, and I want to go out and have a great picnic. This setup in one of these stoves, you can cook anything that you can do in your kitchen at home. You can do it out here in the middle of nowhere in the woods and have a great gourmet meal. Last but not least, we're going to take a look at this thing right here. This is a Whisper Light, and it's a Whisper Light International. Burns anything, basically flammable liquid. You can boil water on this thing to have your freeze-dried meals. What I really like about this is this accessory over here. Unfortunately, these are not made anymore. You can still find them on the internet every once in a while. I'd really like to see these make a comeback. This is the old Outback oven plus 10. And what I mean by plus 10 is it's a little convection oven. You see, if I had a lot of use out of this thing, that sits up on top of my liquid fuel stove. I don't use it on any of my wood-fired stuff because I don't want to get the bottom all covered in soot. But let me set this thing up for you. So what you do is you have this little diffuser that you assemble. Set this on top so you don't scorch everything in the bottom of the pan. You set your oven on top of this. Then you have this little cloth that goes over the top. It's metallized so it doesn't burn. This thing, I really love it. I like it so much I bought a second one so I'd have a spare. Let's get this over it there. And then I've got a couple of heat shields that in windy weather I can wrap it around as long as I keep the fuel bottle on the outside so it doesn't overheat the fuel bottle. Now, the reason I like this is because any kind of casserole, cakes, brownies, heck, I've even baked pizzas in the middle of nowhere with this thing. Now, you look at it and you're like, well, how do you know what the temperature is? Okay, well, let's take a look down through this hole. I'll take the cover off so you can see it better. If you see where it says warm up and bake and burn, when this red needle moves up halfway between the K and the E on bake, I found it usually is about 375. Now, the reason that I carry one of these little butane torches right here is when I'm using this, it's convection currents of the heat that bakes everything and bakes it all the way through. Well, once I take the lid off, the top of it's not browned. So what I'll do is I'll just take this little butane torch, fire it up, and I'll put a little butter on top of the crust or whatever there, and I'll play this heat over the top of it to brown the top crust. Now, there's pros and cons to all three of these systems, okay? I've had them all for years. I've drug them around in the woods with me. I've tested them out. With the Kelly kettle, this is great if I'm going to be winter camping and I'm out ice fishing on a frozen lake and I want to get some hot water going for coffee, hot chocolate, want to be able to cook a little soup on top. This is what I usually use this one for winter camping, and it's great. Downside is you got to constantly feed it. You got to make sure you got plenty of wood to keep it going. Now, once you've boiled the water and this thing starts to whistle, you've got to take your pot off, that's what the little bell handle is, and then set up your hobo stove if you're going to continue cooking with it. All right, you've got a little bit of a larger chamber area, so it'll hold more firewood, and that's great. That's the Kelly kettle. Now, the second one here, the BioLite, when this first came out, I bought this thing, and I've had it for, God, years. This one's great, too, for spring and summertime. I love this one when it's time to grill out, and I want some grilled food. I'll put the little grill on there. The downside is if you're going to use the motor or the TEG, the thermoelectric generator, to keep your cell phone charged or anything like that, it needs batteries, you're going to have to tend this thing nonstop because you're going to have to keep that fire really hot to keep this thermoelectric generator putting out electricity. That's kind of the downside to it. Out of the three, I would say that my favorite one out of all of them has got to be the Whisperlite, and I'll tell you why. Whisperlite International, you can got these fuel bottles, anything liquid flammable, and what I really like about it is the fact that I can put my Outback plus 10 on it and I can bake. That's the reason I would choose that. If I only had one choice, this is the setup I would go with. And all of these are available on Amazon with the exception of the Outback plus 10. You're going to have to scour the internet and hunt for it. Unfortunately, Backpacker's Pantry does not make these and does not offer them anymore.